You're listening to the High Upside Show, a podcast that allows people like you and me to invest our money in a more entertaining way. My name is Keenan Rivals. I'm a photographer by the day, but I make most of my money by flipping cards. In this show, I'll be sitting down with you and sharing my best practices. You'll learn my process, the lessons I've learned, and more importantly, who you should be buying. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the High Upside Show. It's your host, Keenan Rivals, bringing you a podcast about something that's actually happening. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he's just now getting into sports cards, and he was like, hey, man, what do I listen to if I want to get in? What do I want to listen to if I'm new? And I kind of feel like I've gotten away from making content for people who've never really been into sports cards before. You're just not getting into it. You're watching a lot of basketball. Basketball's finally consistent again. You're seeing LeBron go to the finals. You're excited about that. You're seeing the Miami Heat go to the final, and that's like super shocking to you. And I'm like, you know what? People probably are going to start investing right now. Right now might not be the best time to invest, but there are some people who are looking to gamble, looking to make some flips. You buy a card at $100, you sell it for $200. There's a lot of people who are okay with that. A lot of folks are okay with losing $30, but potentially making $100, because that's what would happen if you took a gamble and you lost. Let's say you gambled on like a Jimmy Butler card and he didn't quite pan out. You're probably going to lose about 30%, but a lot of people are willing to lose 30% in order to make 100% or 200%. So I thought I would just hit you guys with a quick, five player card list of what I think you might want to look at if you're getting into sports card investing right now, or if you're kind of gambling on the finals and looking to make some extra cash. Now, before we kind of get into this episode, I did want to thank everybody who went ahead and picked up my market cap method course. It did really, really well. A lot of people picked it up, a lot of positive feedback. A lot of people, who I've never even, communicated with bought it. Gary Vee retweeted it, and that did really, really good things for me. A lot of his community got, to see it. And again, if you haven't looked at it, if you haven't checked it out, I definitely think you should. I think it's going to change the way that we invest in sports cards. We have to start, really applying these methods, because right now it's kind of the wild, wild west. So once, we get a little more mature, once we start making more sense of these cards and these plays, and once people take this course, they'll start looking at the sports cards market in a different light. So definitely check it out. Links in the description, Instagram, all that good stuff. Really, really good value. We're still not at 100 people yet. So if you pick the course up, you still have that chance to get invited to the Discord group. And that alone is just worth it. The Discord group by itself is the same price as the course. So you're basically getting it for free. So yeah, when I made this, I definitely wanted to try to, provide as much value as possible. So definitely check it out. I know you guys don't like ads, but we got to pay the bills. So let's get into this content. So this list of cards that I've kind of made, they're not in any particular order. I've applied, some of the market cap methods. Some of it's kind of like just best case scenario. And, we're just looking at some different cards that we think can make some money. So the first card a lot of you might be familiar with, I actually posted it yesterday. If you're signed up to my, newsletter, if you get my morning bins or my upside auctions, you'll see that I've been really plugging Bam Adebayo. He's just a really, really great player. He's been somebody that I've been, looking at for quite some time. As far back as last year during the offseason. When I watch him play, I'm really impressed by his footwork. He has the ability to play center, but also play like a guard. A lot of the point forwards or the point centers, they don't play like centers. Like Bam, he plays like a center. He can get down there. He can block shots. He can defend. He's going to snatch rebounds. He's going to get down there with you in the paint. He's not the point center where he's just always trying to shoot threes or being on the perimeter. He plays his position on, both defense and offense. But if you need him to, he can push the ball and attack, especially if your center is not, an elite defender or anything of that nature. He's going to get down there and dominate you. And we really saw that, in the last game. So I like Bam a lot. I think, his profile is very Giannis-esque. I'm not saying he's going to be Giannis, but his profile really allows him to kind of do that, to be that center that can push the floor, that can, get to the hole, that can dominate. All he really needs to get there is the right coach, or he has the right coach. He just needs a little more confidence, a little more seasoning, and probably just to add a little more bulk. In terms of his jump shot, I think it looks pretty solid. I think it's something that can really develop, and he has the chance to be the total package. I know that sounds crazy because it's that's not how we look at Bam, but he's a better facilitator than Giannis. He has better footwork, if you ask me. Giannis is going to gain more ground, but Bam has more footwork. So yeah, we're talking about Bam because his Prism Silver PSA 10 is one of the cards I think you guys should be looking at. I think I forgot to say that. Right now it's going for about $900, which is pretty expensive, but it's also like kind of where it should be at for a Prism Silver. You know, for Bam to be in the NBA Finals, for him to be able to have, you know, the amount, the scoring ability, the footwork, the defensive ability, and for him to be like a third or fourth option, I think he's underpriced. If he can move up, you know, to the second option offensively, you know, within that rotation, which probably won't happen because of Tyler Hero, but you know, if he can develop that outside shot consistently, he really does have all the tools to be a dominant player. You know, it may not happen in Miami, but he definitely has those tools. So if you compare his card to like a Jokic, which is, Nikola Jokic, his Prism PSA 10 is like 2,200, 2,300. You know, Bam's the Jokic of the East. You know, there's no reason why he shouldn't be just as high. He's equal. He's just as young. He's just as dominant, and he's really just tapping into like the very beginning of his potential. Like he's not even. This is like his first, you know, go at it. So he's only going to get better next year and the year after. And he plays for Miami. You know, they claim to have like this hustle culture, this high work ethic. So if that's true, then Bam's just only going to get better. Now, in order for his cards to go up, he would have to, you know, shock a lot of people. You know, he would have to dominate against AD. He's not going to be able to make mistakes. One mistake and the card could dip. So it's definitely a high gamble. You know, if they lose, I can see that card dropping to about $600-700, which I think is still a really great deal. But if they win, even if it's a couple games, if Bam dominates for a couple of games, then there's no reason why he may not have that Jamal Murray effect where we kind of see that card shoot up to about $1,500. Now, of course, all of this is just my opinion. You know, I've applied the market cap method to some of these. I'm looking at, you know, some of the pop reports. I'm looking at, you know, comparisons of other players and kind of coming up with these price points. But yeah, you know, that seems really realistic for me. And if we're being like quite honest, you know, Bam might be able to hit that $2,000 mark if he really plays well. But I think we need a little more confirmation from him to see those price points. But yeah, you know, he's Jokic in a more athletic body and just not as an elite as a shooter, but a better defender. So if he can get that jump shot, or if he can just show us his jump shot in the finals, then there's no reason why people won't, you know, see him as an elite player. As you can see, I haven't wrote any of this stuff down. I'm just telling you thoughts off the top of my head. You know, I wrote the cards down and these are the thoughts. So I wanted to get this out to you guys before the playoffs actually started. So the next card is Good Old Faithful. It's one of my favorite cards. Probably holds the biggest percentage of my portfolio right now. And earlier in the season, it was looking like a sure bet. I bought a ton of them. I've already sold a ton of them. I've made a lot of money off them, but I also held some for this moment. And that's LeBron James 2018-19 Donruss Optic. It's his first Lakers Chrome card. You guys know the picture within that card is just very iconic to me. It resembles his 2003-2004 Topps Chrome rookie card. It's just a really great looking card. To me, it's always had like the recipe to be great. You know, it's not super saturated. It's actually quite limited. The hollow version is quite limited. And right now it's kind of going for a little bit over the prices that I bought them earlier in the season. So I don't think it's a bad buy. You know, if we're being honest, it's probably the only card on this list. There might be one more, but it's one of the only cards on this list that's not a total gamble. Like LeBron's LeBron, you know, in 10 years, this card still might be sought after. It might be more sought after, similar to his 2012-13 Prism, or similar to like Jordan's refractors from Topps Chrome or his base cards. I think this card has that level of potential. I think what makes it really cool is like each like team that he's been on, he has a different card. So like his 2003-2004 Topps Chrome is, you know, him in his Cavs jerseys. The inaugural set of Prism, 2012-13 Prism, is him in his Heat jersey. And then like, you know, the redefining of Optic, which happened in 2018-19, is him in his Lakers jersey. So like if you want his three, you know, first edition Chrome cards or whatever you want to call them, they're going to be Topps Chrome, Prism, Optic. And I think that's just a really good trio. I think that would look great in a frame. And I think that's how collectors are going to think. And you guys know me, I invest off the market cap method, and I also invest with collectors in mind. So yeah, I think right now the card's going for like $245. It's fluctuated like crazy. I think I bought them around $180. They peaked at about $500, and I honestly think the ceiling on this card is like 750 to 1,000, and that's being modest. Like the market cap method said it's going to be a lot higher, but just because of the pop report and the availability, I kind of see it being around those price points. If you have a little more money, I think the hollow at $2,000 or 1,750, whatever it is a steal. I think that card has massive potential. Like you're just any LeBron refractor just has massive potential. You can look at a 2008, 2009 like Topps Chrome refractor, and it's baller. You know, I don't even know what that card looks like, but I bet you it goes for a lot of money. So the fact that you can get like his first, Lakers card for that price point, to me is just a steal. And I know a lot of people are like, what about the Prism? That's his first Prism card. And like maybe that would be a thing. But for me, the optics just has too much going for it for the Prism to really come in and matter. The Prism's super populated. It's a boring photograph. Like it was such a fail by, Panini. And I tweeted about that earlier. It was such a fail. But yeah, if you're looking for a good investment, good bang for your buck, something that can be short, that has short-term potential if the Lakers win, but also has long-term potential, then I think LeBron's optic is a huge win. I mean, whether you get the base or you get the velocity or you get the fast break, I think they're all just really great values. And again, they make up a large portion of my portfolio. So looking to sell some if they win, obviously, but I'm probably going to hold on to the more rare ones for ever, for being honest. All right, guys, sorry to interrupt the podcast, but look, whenever you hear this music, it's something good. I'm doing a giveaway. We haven't done a giveaway in a few weeks here, and I got a bunch of raw cards that are just sitting here, so I figured why not put them in a good home? So I think every week we do this podcast, I'm just going to give away some of these cards. This week, we're going to be giving away a 2018-19 Prism Trae Young rookie. Look, this card has a ton of potential. I hope I don't regret giving it away. I'm very big on Trae Young, and I think he's going to kill it. And you guys have the chance to win it. So how do you win? Well, it's very simple. All you have to do is check out my Instagram, check out my Twitter, and follow the rules. That's really it. Like, you got to reshare some stuff, tag a few friends. It's the basics. So not hard, super easy to do. Tell your friends. I'm trying to get some more eyes on this podcast, some more listens. So this is going to be a really great way. You guys get some great content, plus you get some free cards. So look, I'm not going to keep you too long with this. That's the giveaway. Those are the rules. Let's get back into the show. Up next is a card that people will probably say we've kind of missed a boat on, but I wanted to include it just because he's been playing really well. And that's Dwight Howard's Topps Chrome. They're going for about $225 right now for the PSA 10, which honestly, I listed this card before I looked at the price point. That's a little higher than I thought it was going to be. But when you factor in like Dwight Howard, he's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best centers of, the last generation. We thought he was going to like be very Shaq-esque in terms of how we remembered him. And, if he plays well, like if he dominates, it could be a quick flip. I don't recommend holding on to it. I don't know how high I recommend this one, but it could be a quick flip. Like if you're just taking some risk, if you rock with Dwight Howard, you could make some money, especially if you go like with the higher end card. You get like a black refractor or something like that, and you just go all in. There's a chance you can find somebody to buy it. I wouldn't recommend doing the sell on eBay. Might be some returns, but yeah, people might call you crazy. But he's been going for about 200 pretty consistently, which is shocking because like most of the cards have kind of dropped, but Dwight Howard has not. Ever since July, he's been selling for about that 250 price point, and there's a lot of things going for it. It's Dwight Howard. It's from Topps Chrome, which is a very nostalgic set, 2004, 2005, great looking set, great photo of Dwight Howard dunking the ball. He would have to play extremely well for this to go up. So keep that in mind. Maybe a better buy is like the Topps, but I thought I would include it because there's some Dwight Howard fans out there and he still has a lot in the tank. It looks like he's going to go provide some great energy. And if he can get like a few of those like putback dunks, if he can block, if he can like really lock Bam up, there's no reason why this card couldn't hit like $350. I know that's not a huge gain percentage wise, especially in the sports cards world, but there's some people who are happy with, that type of gain, 30-40%, not too bad. So, look out for that. If you can get one at a steal, that'd be even better. But I like Dwight Howard. I like some of his rookie cards. Maybe you can find again a Topps one for cheaper. I'm not really sure what those go for, but Dwight Howard, period, could be could be like one of the defining factors of the series. All right, so next up is, Anthony Davis. We had to include Anthony Davis here. He's obviously, the co-host of the Lakers. We're not going to call him a sidekick anymore. He's legit. LeBron might even be the sidekick if you want to be controversial. But yeah, man, AD's been killing it, dude. Like, I'm not going to lie. I need AD to relax against the Heat because I need LeBron to get this Finals MVP, and a lot of folks are acting like, it's just LeBron's guaranteed, but AD's really been carrying that team. LeBron's been doing his thing. He's been definitely hustling, getting the assists, getting the rebounds, but down the stretch, it's been Anthony Davis. I think all of his cards are underrated. Every one of them. He's from that 2012-13, Panini sets, which is a super crazy set. There's just no reason why he shouldn't be up there with Giannis or Kawhi. He's just undervalued, man. That's as simple as it is. Like, Anthony Davis is going to be handed the keys to take over the Lakers. They'll probably get some really fancy guard down there to help him out, but he's going to be the big man of the Lakers, the next big man. And he's not your typical big man. He's not as exciting as, some of the other forwards. He's not going to be as athletic, or he's not going to, finesse you down low, but he can hoop. And I don't see why his prices should be so low. I think if AD dominates during this series, then he reaches Kawhi level in terms of price points. And I'm not talking like new Kawhi. I'm not talking like $2,100 Kawhi. I'm talking like $2,800, $3,000 Kawhi. There's just no reason why, if Kawhi was able to reach that price point, that Anthony Davis should not, because Anthony Davis is the one doing what a lot of people thought Kawhi would do. So right now the card's around $1,900 for his Prism. Super, super steep price, but I can see it going up to about $2,700. There's also his hoops, his Panini rookie. His autographs are super cheap. Like, if you're interested in his refractors and prisms and silvers, his second year stuff is cheap. I just think Anthony Davis is a buy, man. We got to stop treating him like he's not a superstar. Like, he has superstar potential. He has the look, he has the eyebrows. He could be the face of the NBA. We don't even include him in the conversation. We're just like, oh, Giannis, Luka, Zion. It could be Anthony Davis. He could be Tim Duncan-esque and just kill it. So really, really think his cards are underrated. Really liking him. His first year Lakers could even be a play. That Prism update could be a play. Yeah, look into some AD. He's cheap. He's expensive, but he's a good value. All right, guys. So the last one's probably going to shock a lot of you. It's kind of a wild card of a card, and that's Kobe Bryant's 2008-2009 Topps Chrome. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with this card, I do want to warn you, this is not a cheap card, especially if you're just like somebody who has to have a PSA 10, condition type card. This card is not cheap, but it's also part of the reason why I kind of like, LeBron's optic, because LeBron cards and Kobe cards, they're just not cheap. They have crazy collectors, and this card's super iconic. It's obviously the photograph of LeBron defending Kobe, and at the top it just says Lakers. And to me, the card is just like, if LeBron wins, that card just becomes so much more meaningful. Like, that's a card that we're gonna all look at in terms of history. It's going to be more iconic than LeBron's chalk card. A lot of people are going to look at it the same way I do and kind of see it as a passing the torch, type card. So they're like $2,000 right now. I mean, they're like $2,500, depending on where you're buying it from and who has it. And I think it's just an all-time card. I really do. Like, I just see it going up and up and up and up and up. If I was to buy one, I'd probably get like a BGS 9.5, because you're really buying the card in this point. You're not buying like the grade. I get a BGS 9.5. If I had the money, I get a refractor. I just think it's one of those cards that you go all out on. Like, it's an all-time card. It's just, like, photographs and cards matter, guys. Like, photographs and cards matter. That this card matters. LeBron's chalk card matters. A card of like LeBron holding an MVP or a trophy matters. And, a card of LeBron shooting a jump shot in a Lakers jersey for the first time matters. So definitely, look at these cards. I think there's some opportunities here. It may not make you a ton of money because you're kind of getting in late. You're kind of getting in right at the finals, but surprisingly for the Lakers, like none of their cards really took a jump. We see Tyler Hero going crazy. We see Jimmy Butler going up in price point. Duncan Robinson's going up in price point. Who else plays for the Heat? I don't know. But like none of the Lakers. LeBron just whatever. And AD might have went up a couple $100, which is like 10%, whatever. But nothing else. Kyle Kuzma hasn't gone up. Dwight Howard hasn't gone up. So I think this is the time. I think for the Lakers, they have to win it all in order to be, in order for their prices to increase. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this list. There's a blog post that kind of goes with this. So if you don't know what some of these cards look like, or you want to just see them in more detail, definitely check out the blog post. There's links to buy the cards, some little analysis, all that good stuff. So yeah, also don't forget, check out the Patreon. If you guys don't want to buy the course, but you still want some of the plays, you don't actually have to buy the market cap method to get all the plays. I send out a list every day of cards that I think people should buy. There's some detailed analysis with those, and that's only $4 a month. That's going to also get you my sports cards pick of the week. It's going to get you a real-time look into my portfolio. So a lot of value there. And it's also going to get you access to a lot of members only, type blog posts. So definitely check it out. A lot of value just being provided from every direction. Don't forget about the giveaway as well. It was fun chopping it up. Maybe we'll do this on a live stream next time. If you guys want to see a live stream, let me know. But yeah, I'm going to go. Thanks for listening. Happy investing.